No more. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Gerald. How you doing? Doing alright? I hope so. How was your week? Navigating through like you should? Sidestepping that negativity and that drama? I hope so. Well, for those who that are connected to me on my Google Plus account, you notice I've had a lot of activity this past week. Actually, it was really a divine blessing because initially I had been planning the entire year. This past weekend we had the Richmond Jazz Fest, and I had been trying. What are you doing? Will you get out of the way? Come on. Come on. Come on. You're trying to be all up in my Kool-Aid. You know Tyson, he ain't nothing but a ham. Alright. Bear with me. Pull his hair back so you can see my face. Alright. So, we turned around. I've been waiting a whole year for this event. And the morning of, had everything planned, was going to go. What are you doing? Hold on now, because he's not going to act right. He's just going to be all up in the TV. Come on, get up here. Alright, chill out. Come on now, chill out. No. Well, you know, he's always going to try to be the star of the show. But let me rewind all this. This video is for Saturday the 16th of August 2014. So, how you been? Just a little recap before I go into this video. Hopefully he will act right. So I made full intentions on taking care of being on this. I wanted to go to this event. I'd actually been desiring to attend this event for 5 years. That's right, 5 years. This is an event where a lot of your jazz legends, and they do sprinkle a couple R&B artists in there as well. But the main person I wanted to see it was Roy Ayers. So Mr. Ayers, if you see this video, big shout outs to you, and I hope that I have the blessing to see you perform one day. Now, so I gear up, I'm supposed to be going. You just gonna put your butt all up in my face. Will you sit down? Come on now, chill out. Chill out. Chill out. So, let me put him on here so he can see. Alright, we're gonna do it this way. How about that? So you can see yourself. Alright. So, just geared up to go. Made my provisions and everything. And that morning, that very morning, God touched my spirit and said, listen, this is not where you to be. I want to show you something. I want you to show you something more profound. So what I ended up doing, listen, you see that? Hold on a minute, because I know he's not going to act right. Give me 30 seconds. Come on, let's go, because you're not going to act right. Come on, let's go. Say goodbye to everybody. Be right back. Alright, let's go. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. So anyway, that morning, packed, ready to go, and when I woke up, it was placed in my spirit that, nah, you're going somewhere else. So I followed my intuition. I filled up my Jeep, and I was like, okay, let's roll. And I ended up going down, actually discovering many parts of North Carolina, but I ended up in the mountains, in the Smoky Mountains. I'm literally just driving around and taking in the wonders of, for one, God's creation, but more importantly, how priceless and precious that moment was. Now granted, it was a sacrifice because I truly wanted to attend the event. You gotta understand, 5 years I've been trying to be a part of, everybody else seeing these legendary acts. But then, while I was there, I had not only seen so many things that were priceless, but I realized the synchronicity. Look at that. That's synchronicity. Thank you, my angels. I realized that at that moment and at that time, it was meant. I was being positioned to be where I needed to be to receive what I needed to be given, what was received, what was being shown to me. And that's the power of synchronicity. That's also the power of serendipity. Serendipity is more or less what we know as a chance meeting, or people will look at it as fate or destiny. And as I took it in, it was very surreal. It was very, very humbling, because at one time I shared similar memories with someone very significant in my life, very life-changing at that. But it was different this time. I saw more. It's like, for example, think of it this way. Think of yourself walking down a hallway, right? As a matter of fact, I've got an exercise I'm going to do. I'm going to put that on hold right now. And then I want to ask everyone that's watching this video to perform this exercise with me, okay? And it'll make sense later on. Okay. So, if I could, I need you to close your eyes and just listen to the sound of my voice. Yeah, that's right. Well, if you're driving, you can't do that. But if you're in a safe place and you can do this, or come back to this video when you can, okay? I'll give you a second. No, I'll wait. Go do what you gotta do. I'll wait a little longer. Okay. Now you're with me. I know you got to take care of your responsibility, but I want to share this exercise. And once again, if you can't do it now, when you're able to do so, I'm going to share this example or this exercise with you, okay? And this will give you perspective exactly where you are. Okay, I need you to close your eyes. Got your eyes closed? Alright. I need you to take in 3 to 5 breaths. Take it in. Release it. 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 Last time. Take it in. Release it. Okay. Now with your eyes closed, listen to my voice. Envision yourself on a sidewalk, city sidewalk, somewhere where you live, and the sidewalk has just been cleaned. You see that the cement is still not dry. You can hear and see people as they walk from the contact that they make on the cement. So as you're going down this sidewalk, you're taking and admiring the lights from the street as they reflect off the street. You're taking in the buildings that still have their lights on and the street signs that are lit up at night, or the neon signs per se. You see these signs, they're very vivid. You see the pizza sign, you see the commercial signs of where to go eat, and it gets your attention. You're seeing this, you're taking in at this time the smells of being out there on that street, but you still hear the click-clacks of people's feet as you walk down this wet sidewalk. And as you're looking around, you notice the environment is cool. It's not too hot, it's not cold, it's just right. It's this somewhat, almost like a crispness in the air, but not to the point that you're cold, but it feels right. So as you're walking down this sidewalk, in the distance you see this marquee of a theater, and it's got the vintage lights flickering, and you see the sign and big bold letters, big bold red letters that says coming attractions, but you can't make out what is coming. You just see that sign. And as you start to walk closer to that big marquee, you notice that it is a theater, but more importantly, you realize it's a movie theater, an old vintage movie theater. And as you get closer, you start to see the attendant, who's somewhat bored, but when they see you, they perk up and they give you a smile. Instead of paying for admittance, they're waving you to go in. As you start to work your way to the big metal brass doors, heavy doors, you see little coming attraction signs, but they have your picture in it. These are little snapshots of your life. You start to see the marble floor, and you see how big this theater is as you walk through those metal doors, those heavy metal doors. But as you walk inside this theater, you see the mirrors, these gigantic mirrors. And as you walk past the concession stand, you glance at yourself. You see the popcorn, but you see yourself. You see the soda machine, but you see yourself. And this long hallway seems like it takes forever, but you see that there's an usher on the end waving you down. You smell the ambiance of the fresh popcorn that has just been made, and the sounds of the popping of a new batch just coming out of the kettle, and it causes your mouth to water. But you're more intrigued at what the usher wants to show you, and you start to walk towards the usher. As you hear your footsteps echo and click and clack and click and clack, you're still looking at the mirror as you walk past, looking at the different doors that have other names attached. You finally get to the door, and the usher, as you went to grab it, opens it up for you, because you are the VIP. As you walk inside the theater, it is dark, but yet there is a little ray of light on the floor. The usher guides you to a nice, comfortable chair in the center of this theater. And little do you know, your refreshments are already there. This brings joy to you. So as you are being comfortable in this chair, you feel the relaxation of how the cushion conforms to your neck and how your arms feel on the armrest, and it feels just right. As you start to look across to the screen, you see this giant tapestry of crushed velvet and gold inlay on this curtain. And you see that it took someone a long time to make this, but it is majestic. And as you are looking at this screen, the curtain, you hear the curtain be drawn back as you hear the rings that support that curtain slide across the rail. As you're looking at the screen becomes white and very bright and very intriguing. And as you're starting to focus, you notice that that screen is not actually distorted. It is coming into view, and the view is your life. You see yourself as that little boy or little girl, the moments that you learn to roller skate or ride your first bike, and the joy it brings from connecting from that moment to the point that you can actually feel the energy of the environment as if you were once there. As you watch, you see you are growing. You see the moments that make you proud, as well as the moments that made you sad. After taking introspect on your life, you see the word intermission come across the screen. The usher comes back in and guides you outside. While in the hallway, you start to see pictures that are in those coming attraction poster inlays with high points, the drama, the intrigue, the sadness, and the confusion. As you're taking stock on these photos and these moments in your lives, you realize the usher has abruptly brought you back into the theater to sit you back down to where you once were. At this point, you are seeing your life as a teenager, and the people that you have come in contact and have taught you and shown you things that you were not experienced to. You see how your family is also part of these moments. This brings you joy. As you turn around and watch your life evolve, the phase from being a teenager to an adult, the screen goes black. The usher comes in and guides you back out to the hallway to explain to you that the part that you're missing has yet to be revealed, only to bring you back out onto that city street. As you walk away from the theater, you look back at the lights and you take stock and you see that sign that says coming attractions. You see in small print, it says you. It says you. Okay, open your eyes up. I hope those who took time to do this experiment will actually you can envision your childhood, where you are. You should start to have an understanding of who you are. Now this brings me to this video here. So, as I am driving through the mountains, and I highly recommend, wherever you live, if you have the opportunity to get out into God's country, to get out in nature, even if it's your local city park, maybe the creek, the river, or the ocean. Just so I live by the ocean as well. It is very important that you make time for yourself. And my point is this. As you already know, your higher power is one of many names, but I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ. But one thing that I've always pondered was this. Because we will never know the day nor the time when He will call us home, or when our life here on this planet cease to exist. So while I'm out there, I stopped at this tattoo shop. I stopped over there and I met there was one of the artists there. I said, hey. And at this time I'm in Cherokee, North Carolina. I said, hey, you guys have a waterfall here? And he told me about Mingo Falls. For those who do not know about Mingo Falls, if you go up here and type it in, there's actually video that people have actually put up there. Now, the reason for that is I felt it in my intuition. I was drawn to it, but I didn't understand why. But there was a lesson in that as well, because I actually got to see aspects of that area that I had not seen before. So as I'm making my way, and I get there, and I'm going to tell you what, it was a lot. 95% of it was by blind faith. I think I stopped maybe one time just for validation. But when I got there, I did not know what I was going to expect. Well, I thought, okay, I'm going to see a waterfall. Okay. But actually, there was a lesson in that as well. Because for you to fully understand and have a visual, I highly recommend and it'll make sense. Go up here, yeah, right up here, yeah. Put Mingo Falls, and you'll see where someone had put the footage of when they went up there, and you'll actually get you'll actually see and understand what I'm about to explain now. Because of the fact that it was unknown, I could not truly measure the experience until after I returned here, back here in Virginia Beach. So when I realized, when I went there, dealing with the elevation and the trail, looking back in hindsight, I know that it was like a 2-mile walk, easy. But it was worth it to see and be in that moment. But what I got out of it from a synchronistic point of view was this. Because it was hard and it was challenging to my body, it was worth the sacrifice. Because it realized as I'm going through this, I'm going up this climate, and I'm traveling on the trail that many Native Americans had done before, and I saw the message in that. It was like I had a burden that I was carrying with me up these stairs. And even to a point where I plateaued, I could still feel this weight. But I did not quit. I persevered. Knowing that there was no end in sight, because I didn't know where I was going, acting on blind faith, it paid off in the end to stand in front of this waterfall. There's no words that can explain but God's wonder. But what I got out of it was when I came back down, it felt like if there was like a proverbial pack or burden on me, it was removed. I hope I wasn't bended on that. Now here's my point. No matter what sacrifices that have to be made, just know that if it comes from a pure place, you will have the validation that you need at the appropriate time. You will see it. It will be right in front of you, but it will be felt in your heart. My kings and queens, as you already know, we are living in the days of a lot of exploitation. Society wants for you to sacrifice who you are just for some monetary validation. But we all know we can't take that with us. So I ask this question to you today. And I ask that you truly answer this to yourself, because you don't owe this to me. You owe this to yourself. If today was the moment that your life ended, what would be your legacy? What would you be remembered for? That's right. If today was the last day, the last moment that you ceased to exist in a physical form, what would your legacy, what legacy would you leave behind? Now, you remember how the last video I put out and I said, you know, those who are in your circle, You know, to truly understand who you're with, you ask them, what's your purpose? See, you will never know what your purpose is until you are authentic to yourself, which means you have to be honest with yourself, which means you can't run from yourself. Excuse me, you can't. I know somebody's saying, well, Gerald, I hear what you're saying. It sounds good, but guess what? Somebody cut my lights off. What's that going to do with my legacy? Well, I'm here to tell you this. We all have free will and the power to change. And just like that situation, maybe it may require you to humble yourself before you can take actions for change. Because when you choose not to act in your best interest, you more or less are really stunting where you need or what you need in your life. Did you hear what I said? When you choose not to see your worth, how can you know what the call of action is needed for your life? How can you? I mean, think about it. That's just like going shopping, and you know what you need, and you turn around and settle for something else. But you're expecting that need to be met by what you settled with. It don't work that way, because there's only one you. So first and foremost, stop beating yourself up. Make this the day that you tap into that courage. Make this the day that change starts. I know some of you are sitting in a place where you're like, you know what? If I thought in a million years I would be where I am now, I would have never gone down that road. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes, God will turn around and He'll say, well, you know what? I tried to tell you. I brought people in your life. I showed you things. But right now, this is the reality of not taking care of you. Now, you also got to understand, God is a jealous but loving God. So He's going to always show mercy. That's why He never will give you something that you can't stand. But He does require action. That's why when blessings come into your life, it is your responsibility to cultivate it, or it will not grow, or worse, it will be taken away. I say this because I done been there. I done been there. You think you're the only person that's going through stuff right now? You think you're the only person that felt like you're alone? You think you're the only person that feels unloved right now? Do you actually think, with over 6 billion people on this planet, you think you're the only one going through that? But I can tell you this, you are the only person that can change it. Did you hear what I said? So, when you're going to get tired of being tired? Sometimes your higher power will deliberately give you favor. He will. Just to see what you're going to do. How many times have you had a miracle happen in your life? And you knew darn well you didn't deserve it, but it came. And you had to make a conscious decision. Stay in the moment or squander it. And what happens? 9 times out of 10, we squander it. And it'll be a long time before you see it come back. Because you do also understand, my family, my kings, my queens, The energy that you put out is the energy that's going to come back. I know somebody said, well, Gerald, that sounds like karma. No, it's not karma. That's divine intervention. It's no different. If I want to place $1 million check in your hand, but you can't hold on to $20, why am I going to give you that check? You're going to squander it. You're not ready for that. It's because your feet are not grounded. And that is why a lot of times we go through experiences through the human experience, because these people are reflections of what's found in your heart. Yeah. But guess what? Because you got free will, you can dictate the moment in time to put forth work in your life, to change your life. Yeah, but guess what? There is going to be a sacrifice in that. You're darn right it is. And I'm going to tell you how. Because when you decide to invest in your life, the people that don't want to invest in your life, they're going to walk out of it. Did you hear what I said? The moment that you decide to invest in your life, the people that don't want to invest in your life, they're going to walk out. But what you fail to realize, because you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, you're wearing your pride as your bandana, what you don't realize is you're being protected. Yes. Because now you're talking about a state of like-mindedness. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're investing in school, but your environment, your peers are not, really. All that you can do is inspire, but it's up to them to embrace. Did you hear what I said? That's what free will is all about. Because see, no one can do that but you. So when you decide to invest in yourself, guess what? Your harvest will come. Yes. I'll throw this down on a more linear sense, and I'm watching my time. My queens, how many of you tired of going home wondering when your king is going to come? But one. How many? I know I'm talking to somebody. Well, guess what? When you make a decision to be authentic with yourself, first of all, the one is not going to come through the person that you allow the world to see. He wants the person that is raw and in color. Yeah. You know that person that you see with the baby, that show, you know, with your bathing suit, the one that's given the time you take your first breath. He wants that person. He doesn't want the person that has to take this off or take this off or take this off. Because guess what? When your life ceases to exist, none of that's gonna matter. None. When you are in your highest, highs, that don't matter. When you're in your lowest lows, that don't matter either. What matters is you, the essence. Because without the essence, the supporting cast or the supporting elements have no value. They're inanimate. They mean nothing. There's no different than putting on a pair of shoes and taking them off and putting on another pair of shoes. They have no value. It's the person that wears them that defines them. Think about it. So, you gotta get to that place where you value your life. Yes. I know somebody said, well, Joe, I ain't trying to hear all that. You know, you talking about, you know, lineage and what my life end, and you know, now you're talking about the one. I don't get it. That's my point. You got to get you. Because your environment is going to validate where you are. Where you are here. Because what is found here is found here. And where the head goes, the body flows, right? That's why it's very important for you to understand and respect this. No one can do anything that you don't want to do unless you allow it. So you need to turn around and put that victim card down. Put it down. Stop allowing things in your environment to enable your blocks. And you stand up. You stand up and you declare your name. And when you make the decision to declare your name, watch what your higher power will show you. Now I will say this. As you make that decision to be devoted to you, you will learn what it is to be a friend. You will learn what it is to be trustworthy. You will understand what it is to be loyal. And lastly, you will know what it is to feel love. Because these are all emotions that are found inside you. Oh yeah, by the way, not the segue. When I went up there, you see this right here? You can't see it. There you go. While I was there, this is a mood ring. So, because I'm speaking, it's changing. It's changing colors. You can't see it. But that just tells me I'm in the spirit right now because it's feeling my emotions. And that's nothing but that is my commitment to each and every one of you. Yes, because guess what? I done been where you've been. I have. So, when you make the decision to at least look at the things that are holding you back, your fears. You know fears. Finally, everything's a reality. And what is that? That is nothing but spoken truth without a voice. So when you can be truthful with yourself, you can be truthful with your emotions. And watch how your environment changes. Because see, I noticed this when I was out, when I was trekking through North Carolina. I was so much in the moment, before I realized it, I had driven into the state of Tennessee before I turned around. Tyson just looking out the window like, but then I realized it was the elevation. He wasn't feeling that, so I had to turn around and come back. But to get back to what I'm saying is, listen, if you feel it in your heart, yeah, you know that, why do you not think that you cannot make it a reality? For those who have a dream of what they wish to become, yeah, you know that those dreams and aspirations you had as a little boy and a little girl, when you decide to embrace who you are, you will also embrace where you're going, because you'll be able to see it. You will actually invoke a calm and a peace that is rightfully yours, y'all. Do you think for 1 second, do you actually believe that your name was just given randomly by your parents? You really believe that? You think that one day your mom and your dad just sat down, I'm going to say this, and well, guess what? It was planted as a thought, right? You can work with me on that for those who are skeptics. But where does the thought come from? Where does it come from? I'm going to tell you where it comes from. It comes from Him. And therefore, since your name was assigned, your legacy was also written. Yes, even the struggles. You know why you go through struggles? Because you don't know yourself. That's why there's an unrest right now. That's why those who may be in relationships right now, you feeling like you got the short end of the stick, like someone gave you a bad brochure. It's because that is a want. Love that synchronicity. Love me some Kim too. I went on ahead and bought his album. You can get it on Amazon, by the way. It'll be out on the 25th of August 2014. Can't wait. But when you make a decision, you got to ground your feet. If you ground your feet, you'll stop running from yourself. When you stop running from yourself, your blessings will be right in front of you. And I'm gonna be clear with you, because I know some of y'all are in situations where you think, well, you know, only way I can have my dreams reality, I gotta walk with a certain person. No, that's not the case. Because what is rightfully yours cannot be claimed until you manifest that, which means it's got to come from your heart. That's why you go through seasons of different interactions from different people. So if it's from a carnal point of view or a physical point of view, well, guess what? The end result is you just wasted your time. You gave your gift, which is your body, you, to someone that will never value it. Why? Because they don't know where they're going. And if they don't know where they're going, how can they truly understand their purpose? So I'm not banging on you. I'm not ragging on you. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm telling you this from personal experience. I done been there. It took me 25 years to truly understand why God brought me here. And guess what? I got a peace and a calm in my spirit that only He can provide. Because you do understand, you have angels. Yes. You have spirit guides. Those are those who love you unconditionally, that have moved on. They're on the other side, and they're looking down on your behalf, and they want nothing but the best for you. And then you have those that you have met or interacted with that will always have unconditional love for you. But this will never be felt until you truly understand what unconditional love is to yourself first. Did you hear what I said? So stop beating yourself up. Stop doing that. Now, if you're going through a situation right now and you feel that your health is at risk or your physicality is in risk, be the bigger person and remove yourself from the situation. Seriously. That's about taking stock of self. You got to do that. Because guess what? You have one life, and it's up to you to live it correctly. Now, should that be wasted on people and events that don't matter? Those are nothing but stolen moments. Why should your moments be fleeting? They should be memories lasting a lifetime. Remember, just like that exercise, your life is your movie. So it shouldn't be filled with drama and intrigue or disappointment or sadness. It should be nothing but sunshine, love, and clarity. That's what makes you, y'all. Okay, now I didn't talk longer than I wanted to, but I wanted to share my experience, and I highly recommend always make time for you. Don't worry about your environment, because guess what? Your environment is your environment, and it will be there when you decide to engage in it. But make sure, whatever your environment is, it spawns growth. It makes you the best you, and always keeps you in the best light. If it's not doing none of that, that is not your environment. And it is your responsibility to have the courage and fortitude, because you can't have fortitude without faith. So I say this to each and every one of you. Place God first in everything you do. Don't worry if I know somebody's saying, well, Joe, I don't have a relationship with God or my higher power, like you say. Well, guess what? You want to have that relationship with Him? You know what you feel inside behind closed doors? You know that conversation of self-talk that you have? Maybe you have it in your car. Maybe you have it in the bathroom. Maybe you have it on your bed. Take that same tone. Take that same tone and direct it to Him. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you. But see, that's an action step now, isn't it? Your life is not in vain. And yes, my queens, I will say this and continue to say this. And you too, my kings. When you have done the work, not only will you be made new, well, so will your environment. And trust when I tell you this. Those who do not have your best intentions cannot walk with you. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You will be divided in the intended time. Because, guess what? It's spiritual. And at the end of the day, God's will be done, with or without your consent. And depending on how it is made revealed will depend how it is felt. May it be good or bad. So, do not have a judging heart. Embrace who you are. Do you know who you are? And as I said before, if this was the last moment that you had on this earth, what legacy would you leave behind? Because you fail to realize this. Because you don't see it doesn't mean it don't last a lifetime. So we have free will. It's up to you. You know, and you know, like I used to say all the time, everybody has their own story to be told. But it is your responsibility how it is told. That's your legacy, y'all. Protect it. Protect it. Forgive those who have wronged you. But more importantly, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You know I'm telling the truth, my queens. Some of you are walking around numb. Some of you are walking around with a mask on because you're afraid that if you do so, that you're going to lose footing in your life. And I'm here to tell you, guess what? You've already lost that footing because you're not claiming who you really are. And the moment you decide to claim who you are, watch your life change because you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Okay, y'all. For those who've never seen me before, once again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day for allowing me in your life. I'm also found on Google Plus as well. If you got some questions and concerns, or you may be going through something and you need some unbiased advice, feel free to hit me up. You can hit me with the inbox below, or you can go to my Google Plus account and I will get back to you, because you understand we are all synced up. So if you send it, I'll see it and I will properly get back to you as quickly as I can. Okay? So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Make memories, not pain. And as I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Okay, guys. Have a great and safe weekend. Love to hear from you. And as always, stay protected, stay blessed, and stay you. Bye, y'all.